Yo, what's going on, fam? For those who don't know me, I go by the name of Cyanide Panda, and I hail from the city of Santa Ana, California, 714. And of course, a shout out to my brothers from TriCity for having me on this next episode as a special guest mixer. And let's get to it, fam.
here looking like a snack. What you got inside that fanny pack? Shorty out here looking like a snack. What you got inside that fanny pack? Shorty out here looking like a snack. What you got inside that fanny pack? Shorty out here looking like a snack. What you got inside that fanny pack?
Back in 1995, I was dancing in the club. The DJ was spinning, the vibe was out of this world. And then suddenly, he turns up with his crew, trying to be all cool.
You know what? Can somebody get him out of here? Out of here. I set this place on fire. Place on. Place on. I set this place on fire. Place on.
All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and once again, shout out to my brothers from TriCity for having me. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for tuning in, and remember, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and always keep it plur, fam. Peace.
Hey, what's up, guys? We are back here in the mix, episode 4, with our special guest, Cyanide Panda.
Hey,
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing?
Good,
Good,
man.
man.
Good. How are you? How are you?
Doing all right. Surviving.
Surviving this COVID. It's just destroying everything.
Yeah, surviving COVID, surviving boredom, all that horrible stuff.
But thanks for coming on, man. That mix was dope. You always put down a good mix. We love it. It's very, bounce house, and got the helmet going, and yeah, the screen's dope too. Makes it look
cool
cool.
visuals, dope set. Like always, man, like we always enjoy hearing your sets. Always got a lot of energy, so we definitely enjoyed it. I'm sure everybody else enjoys it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Really dope.
Sure, man.
I like to point out, dude, like every time I see you guys, like I always love seeing you guys too, because I feel like like you said, bro, like I feel like we have a similar taste of music. Like
Yeah.
Sure, man.
like we love house, we love, big room, electro, all that.
Yeah, man, for sure. That's why I said, like, one day we'll get on the same lineup.
We gotta get on that same lineup.
We'll get on the same lineup for sure.
Like one day we'll both play at main stage someday.
That's right.
You heard it here first. If any of us have our own shows, we're gonna play each other's shows. So
Yeah.
But
Be there.
yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, so basically, we met probably like last year, and like you said, we clicked, had a lot of common things going. So let's just kind of go back to the beginning. We like to always ask people, like, how they got started. What's your origins? How did DJing and everything just start with you?
I guess, damn, where'd I begin? I guess it all started like when I was like a kid, dude. I've always had a love for music since I was a kid. Most of the time, like an average family, like they'll go to the living room, turn on the TV, and watch television. But with my parents, they would go to the living room, turn on the stereo, and watch me dance as a kid. I mean, that's all I would do, man. Just dance, like, to any kind of music, whether it's Spanish or hip hop, whatever they play. As a kid, I love music. I just kept dancing, and I think I was about, I'd say maybe 1 when my dad put me on his decks for the first time, and I was a baby, and I was just scratching that vinyl, you know. And I guess as a kid, when I was scratching, my dad would tell me I would go, and then back then, you know, my dad decided to call the DJ system the choo choo because I always do that. But yeah, like I guess my dad is like my main inspiration for, because he started DJing in high school as like pretty much a second job. So pretty much DJing was like his second job to make ends meet for us. But yeah, as a kid, you know, growing up, you know, little by little, I would go to every one of his gigs. Well, not every one of his gigs, like, you know, every once in a while. And I'll just watch him do his thing, man. And I started to see, you know, I started to see the appeal to it. And I was like, you know what? I probably want to do this later on. Yeah, dude, pretty much it all started like in, I'd say I think I was a sophomore, like when I really started DJing. It was in 2009. My first gig ever was DJing for my boss's daughter's birthday. Yeah.
Hey man, we all have those humble beginnings.
Yeah, man, it was nerve-wracking, dude, because I had a DJ at his, you know, big mansion and his daughter's 18th birthday, and it was a lot of pressure, man. You know, I didn't know how to mix or anything. I literally just, you know, filtered in the song, like just lowering the volume and putting on the neck. I know, dude, but you know, it was cool. Like, you know, he knew I barely started, and you know, it was good. You know, everyone liked it. But that's when I pretty much started, you know, just working my way right there from, like, because I remember I got Serato for the first time when it barely came out the first time. It was like, yeah, like I said, 2009, like right when I started. I had a laptop. What's it called? I had a laptop, and all I needed was speakers and a mixer. So, because my dad already had his vinyl, he had the Techniques, I think 1200s, I'm guessing. And I would use those. And all I needed to buy was that expensive ass $1,500 Serato mixer, the Rain one.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then from there, you know, I bought my vinyl, Serato vinyls and everything, and I used my dad's laptop, and that's how I got started, you know. So, you know, slowly but surely, you know, that's how I made my way up there. High school was like a big, was like literally the biggest exposure for me, because literally everyone would, like, you know, come up to me and tell me, oh, can you DJ? I would literally have a gig every weekend. Like, my sister was like, well, my sister barely made like freshman. She was varsity cheerleader as a freshman. So she had all the contacts, all the hit ups, and she'll be like, you know what? Hit up my brother. He's a DJ. And most of the time I would be doing, you know, everyone's gigs mostly every weekend. And that's how I pretty much got my name up there.
So, again, even more fast forward, you know, your name is Cyanide Panda, you know? So, those who don't know or do know, there's a panda head, you know? Like, how did that start? How did the whole, you know, helmet, and that's kind of like a little bit what you're known for?
Originally, bro, I wasn't supposed to wear it. Because at first I was just gonna call my name was just gonna be Cyanide. That's it.
Yeah.
But I started raving like in 2014, like Escape 2014. That was my first rave, and I remember I saw Dioro, dude, and it literally blew my mind. Yeah, and you could tell that he's literally my favorite DJ right now.
Yeah.
He's like but yeah, dude, like, I just drew a lot of heavy inspiration from him, and I remember going to a bunch of raves, like when I started, wearing the panda head.
Yeah.
And that's how everyone knew me, as the panda guy at the raves. So, and like, I barely started getting back into the game, like, you know, like in, I'd say late 2018 or the mid, like somewhere around there. And I had to change my name, because before my name was just DJ Homer. And I changed that because, you know, it didn't sound right anymore. I mean, like, you know, obviously the people back in the day who knew me will always call me that. Yeah. But for the EDM world, I had to change my name, like, to like something else.
Right.
Like, you couldn't just be called DJ something unless you're DJ Snake. But
yeah, for sure. It's just kind of like, you kind of today you kind of drop the DJ part of it. You know, it's just like you
Yeah.
gotta think of a different kind of name. So, but yeah, hey,
Right.
bet it fits. I mean, people know you for it now, and yeah, it's cool, man. I didn't know about the whole Dior thing.
Yeah,
You know,
I didn't know it actually makes sense. Like,
Yeah, it
right,
does
I'm
make
like,
sense.
oh well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
and your style too. Like I said, like the bounce outs with him. Like, dude, we love Dioro.
Yeah,
like
yours
you know,
dope.
like the whole
Yeah.
background, and he's integrating our Latin culture into it. Right? He's done collabs with Elvis Crespo and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and he makes it work.
Yeah.
So it's dope.
Yeah, he's super into his culture, man. I just think we need more people like him, because he actually gives a shit about his fans. He actually waits at shows, takes pictures with them. Like, yeah, like I really just a good guy to look up to, man.
So
Mhm.
we've seen you grow from the shows that we've seen you at. We've never been on the same lineup, but like we've altered lineups. And
Yeah.
then we've both played at Avalon before, and then you get this huge opportunity to play main stage, dude. Like that was awesome. Like for us, we
Yeah.
were like, man, that's
Yeah,
all we know that guy.
We were
like
lucky enough
actually
to be
know
there.
him.
Yeah, we're lucky enough to be there, and for us, you're kind of like, hey man, like almost like a little inspirational to us because it's like, all right, Cyanide Panda made it like we could continue to grow ourselves and maybe get to where you are. And yeah, it was a dope night. You killed it, obviously. And it was really inspirational, man. It was really cool and
Yeah.
everything.
But,
How did that
like how
start? Like,
obviously, you said we've grown through the journey of you. Like take us to like point of like how did you get to main
Avalon
stage
and,
and Avalon?
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't easy, man. I did it like in a short amount of time too. Like in late 2000, yeah, like at the beginning of 2018, I already told everyone I was gonna quit DJing. I literally just gave up hope. Nobody wanted me to play anywhere. I was just sick of it. It just back in the day. It just pissed me off that there's all that you would go to these clubs and bars, but the DJs were not good. Like it, they were just not
You're preaching
good.
to the choir, bro. We always say that. Everywhere I go, like, oh god.
Yeah, man. It's just so frustrating, man. Like you literally like you could do better than these guys, and it's just frustrating that these guys are the ones that always get booked. Because I'll tell you, because the sad reality most of the time is that if someone wants to play somewhere, they literally just know someone that works there and they hook them up. That's the sad reality. Like you just have connections, you have hookups. Eventually, like like everyone's starting to started to see how talented I was, and even other, like I don't know, or even other people started to book me, like other groups that did shows right there at Rockefellers, or because and even at time, like I got lucky doing a gig at time, like late that year too. I opened up for Tonal.
Dude, I had no idea. You played at Time?
Yeah, I played time. This is weird. I played time one time only.
Hey, that's dope, dude. Because
Bro,
I mean, there's no side stage at Time, is there? No, just main stage.
It's so small, dude. Like, there's no room for side stages.
Yeah, for sure. But that's dope.
Hey, if you're not, there's no room for side stages. That means you're on the main stage, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, so that's pretty good, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you played that time.
Yeah, dude. I just, like I said, I just got lucky with a friend. He just told me, hey, I know the owner from Time, dude. Like, he needs a DJ like ASAP. Do you want to open up for Tritonal? I'm like, yes.
That's how. Hey, bro. Honestly, that's how it
Crazy.
works. That's why we say like we're doing side stages. We're doing because you got your foot in the door. You know this person, whatever. Like, and this is why we say you always have to be like ready, practicing, doing something because.
Right.
It's not always gonna be like, oh hey, so we got a gig coming up in 2-3 weeks, so let's promote. Sometimes for these you're gonna get a lot of times you hear these stories. How'd you get your big break? Honestly, this guy canceled and they need a DJ tonight. And they said, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for your shot when it comes? Like so that hey man, hats off to you to be like, yeah, I'll take it. Confidence in what you can do.
Yeah, and yeah, after that happened, that's when I got, I think yeah, I think around the middle of 2019, you know, I was still doing shows with Odyssey, still doing local shows. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm ready for something bigger, dude. And luckily again, you know, my sister, cause like I said, dude, I don't know if I mentioned this, but my sister is literally my biggest supporter ever. Honestly, without her, I probably wouldn't even be playing main stage.
Was that her on the main stage jumping? Like she climbed on the main stage?
Oh no, that's my friend Tasha.
Oh.
She's always
I saw that in Avalon. I was like, dang, he got somebody on the main stage jumping.
she's my professional go-go dancer.
That's how it is, right?
Yeah, it's tough. That's why it's like you really have to build a organic, true following, and that's why for me, I said I'm on both sides of the spectrum of being a DJ and producer. Where I'm like, you know, how do you build this? Well, people don't connect you just to your DJing because like they see so many DJs. How do they connect with you? Well, they're like, oh, that song was dope or that music's dope. What? Well, that's his song. Like, so that's why it's like I'm big on producing and producing and producing. That's how you build that identity.
Yeah, like that's how it was for me too. Like I played at my first Avalon show. I think in the small stage right there. I think it's called the Jerry Lewis stage right there by main stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where I had my first gig right there, and literally all my friends came, even the ones that I told you about in high school came. Well, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, it was you know, it was pretty amazing. You know, I actually felt like, you know, I took a big step forward, you know, to getting. Yeah, but right after the show, you know, that's what, like you said, you know, I have all my, you know, most of my friends telling me, they better put you on main stage next time. The stage is too.
But that's true though. That first gig at Avalon though, like I think
we've only played Pioneer stage. We've never played Jerry Lewis or
we haven't
Upstairs. So we've played Pioneer, but yeah, that first everybody's like, "Oh, you're doing Avalon? Oh yeah, we'll be there." Like, I think
we had like 20 something.
We sold the most, so we had like the main time, but then after that, it's like,
all of a sudden it's like, you know, I saw one of your shows. I don't need to see you again. Like, all right.
Oh man, but believe that believe we make it the main stage, dude. We're telling our mamas and our grandmas, like everybody's better come.
Right, everybody's coming.
I know, dude. At one point, I told my parents, like, "Hey, you want to come?" But
well, that's the thing too, man. Like, and I think it's like when you, like, I guess when you made it to the main stage, like for us, it was like we want to support that because we know how hard it is, and we know that you worked your ass off to get there, bro. So like, that night, like, you know, even though you were playing like late, we were like, we're gonna stay until you play. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, it was just because you know the hustle. We have a similar trajectory, like where you're starting at, and where we had those same experiences. So, man, it was again. I know we mentioned already, dope night, dope set, but it was truly inspirational for us.
For sure, man.
I know. I appreciate it, guys, and I appreciate you guys being there, dude. Because, like I said, that night wasn't easy to sell tickets. I was the one who sold the lead. That's why they put me on at 3.
3 in the morning.
I was like, all right, you want to save the best for last? Here you go.
Yeah, no, man, it was dope.
But dude, pretty much the way I got there was, you know, like I did my first show, did my second one, and then from there on, like the promoter that kept booking me, he would, like, every once in a while he'll hit me up and be like, you know what, like every time he'll hit me up when the DJ would drop out of a lineup, I would be the first one to tell him, hey, I'll take a spot. I'll take it, and also the remaining tickets that you need or whatever he needs. And I'm always on it, dude. Like, if there's an opportunity in front of me, I'm gonna take it. Right. Because that's what I want, dude. Like, I'm always hungry, dude. I always want to play shows, like, a lot, and I would take every opportunity that he gave me. And he saw that I was really committed, and I was, you know, very helpful at the time because, you know, it's hard selling tickets, and I guess the biggest help that I've gotten for selling tickets would have to be from, like I said, I raved for a while, and I'm already a part of the candy community as well. Mm-hmm. So I know a bunch of candy kids who just love to go to shows,
Yeah.
to meet one another, trade, and like I said, I knew a lot of these people, and I would literally go to like either Escape or whichever event is happening, and I'll sell like tickets right there easily. I'm like, hey, you want to go to a show? Like, I'm gonna be playing here on main stage. And that's how I easily sell most of the tickets.
No.
That's good,
Yeah.
man. Like that's where we struggle, bro.
Yeah, we don't have the personality for that, bro.
we try. That's why I'm like we slowly little are trying to do the, but it's gonna be a point where it's like we're gonna need help. But yeah, just like kind of like, but that obviously I said that makes sense how it would really help.
And it's like like you said earlier, like it's just crazy. Like I've been literally daydreaming about this almost every day of my life, and then all of a sudden it just happens one night.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, we can only imagine. Like, we have full belief in our hard work that it's gonna get there, and it's gonna happen. But yeah, man, to have that realization happen, like I said, for you, like, we were just in the crowd watching it, so it looked dope. I can only imagine what it was like, looking out into that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a crazy feeling, man. You literally feel like you're on top of the world sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, just seeing that, like, that you're on the top DJing and in front of that whole crowd right there, it's just a crazy feeling. Like going back to that, like, on my way towards there, what was it? I think it was, yeah, like I said before, we would have to sell tickets, and I remember I didn't have any visuals or nothing ready, and I was like, okay, well, how are you gonna do this? They're like, well, do you have a logo? I was like, okay, and I'm like, yeah, I have a logo. I'm like, okay, that would work. And I'm not gonna lie, most of the time I was shitting myself, dude. Like I was kind of nervous going up there.
Yeah.
And I was in the green room procrastinating, like, oh man, like like just getting the nerves right there.
Yeah.
And then I remember one of my friends was back there, and he's all slapping my face, telling me, "You ready? You ready?" I remember the headliner was Thomas Gold, and he was in the back too. We were having like a little chat before I went on.
Yeah.
And I told him, like, hey man, you had a great set, man. It was amazing. And he's like, hey, appreciate it, man. He's like, and I told him, he asked me, oh, you're gonna go up next? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, what are you gonna play? I was like, I'm probably gonna play, some big room, some house, some bounce, a little bit of everything. He's like, okay. And he's like, well, wake these people up, man. Because it was 3 a.m. That was my set time, and I was like, oh shit, yeah. So
it worked.
Yeah.
Well, hey, so the next move, like, what are your goals for the future? I mean, you've done obviously main stage. I would imagine that's where it's gonna end. So, what are your goals for moving forward with Cyanide Panda?
Moving forward, like I said earlier, like I'm just using whatever time I have to finish all my projects, have them ready by next year. Like, I want everything ready by next year, and that way I'm better prepared for the future, like for future events, and and eventually hopefully get booked by Insomniac. Please, Pasquale.
For sure, man.
But yeah, just pretty much aiming, for the, like every DJ is aiming for, playing festivals and playing festivals, and eventually if we're good enough, starting our own record label as well.
What advice would you say? You've been doing this collectively, probably more than like 10 years, So like, what is your advice for DJs that are starting, that are like, thinking they do want to do this, they don't want to do, like, what is your main advice from all that stuff that you've learned that you can give?
I need nowadays it's kind of hard to give advice because I guess I think my biggest advice for most DJs, and I say this very, very seriously, be open to criticism. I know most of the DJs don't want to hear that they suck, like every once in a while, or that productions are not good, but eventually it does help you in the long run. I've always had, harsh criticism. Like I told you, my sister is my biggest supporter, but she's also my biggest critic.
And that's, honestly, that is it's a hard, at least for us, maybe again because our background is sports, like I said, so we were built kind of already with that tough skin. So coming into this, artist, like I've learned they're a lot more sensitive. So but dude, that criticism, like that's what I was looking for. You go look at my first production. It's on our SoundCloud, by the way. It's called Lucina. And like I just put it out there because I knew it wasn't good enough yet, but I needed feedback. I needed to hear. The problem was everybody was like, "It's so good," this and that, and I knew it wasn't. I knew it wasn't. So when you finally meet like a good producer or good producer or someone like who's they'll tell you straight out like, well, there's different ones who just say, "Oh, okay, it sucked," but they're like, "Okay, look, this sounds like this, but you've only been doing it for this long. This is what you got to work on." Or as a DJ, when you first start, you kind of look back and you're like, wow, that was sucky. But like it's hard. So when somebody can give you good feedback and honest feedback, take it, because that is good and it's only gonna get you better if you really want to do this. And if you don't, then you're gonna be like, oh, and then never do it again. So, but it's good. You're right, man. Like that's such a good thing.
Yeah, like I said, criticism is very important. You're gonna eventually hear it. Like I said, you're gonna eventually hear it once you make it up there a lot. Yeah. But that's the one advice I would give everyone. Just be open to criticism and also be prepared, because like I said before as well, there's a bunch of DJs who don't know how to mix or anything, and they just fucking go up there and make a fool out of themselves.
Yeah, you can tell like they haven't put into their craft. They haven't put in the time to learn, and it's like for us, maybe it was right, maybe it was wrong, but we literally took about 9 straight months of just practicing before we took any gigs, just because of how we are. We're like, we don't want to make a fool out of ourselves. Yeah. So we're like, we wanted to at least know how to mix correctly. And then and then after that, we start learning even more things of, phrasing and just so many different things that you learn how to get better. But you should always want to get better, and you can't if you think you're good all the time. Everybody's tanked. We've tanked, and that was a big lesson, so like it's good.
Also, one more thing too, like the new thing I learned, like just being an EDM DJ like for the past 2 years, like obviously you guys we're good friends, but I would say that most of the DJs you meet on the way, they're temporary friends, I'd say, because you're all reaching for the same goal. You all want to be up there. You're all trying to one up the other. Yeah. And like I didn't know the EDM game was like that, dude. I didn't know it was like a competition most of the time, but in reality, it kind of is, because you're trying to be better than everyone else, and most of the time, I'm trying to. It's kind of hard to that's the hard part of trying to stay humble as well, dude, because you can't lose sight of where you came from and who brought you there.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But like I said, some of your DJ friends, they slowly, like once they see the opportunities you're getting, then they slowly start to hate on you and not support you as they used to.
Yeah. I mean, there's a difference between there's a healthy competition, right? Like you'll be around people who should make you want to be better, but you shouldn't want to be like haters and stuff like that. So if we see, Cyanide Panda Homer on main stage at Avalon, we're like, damn, dude, like we want to do that. We want to put we know him and so we can do it too. Like that's just elevating yourself. There's a good, healthy competition there to want to make each other feel better, to get better and push each other. But yeah, not the hate, not to be like, well, why does he get that and I don't? It's like, well, you should support that and maybe be like, I should work harder.
Yeah. I don't even think it's like necessarily like a bad thing, that like you start to kind of like maybe outgrow people sometimes, because the truth is that you're right. It is kind of like a competition, but at least for us, I think we want to keep people around us who are gonna motivate us, and
want more for themselves too.
yeah, you want that, like, and then everybody else, yeah, they're temporary friends, and like, you're cool with them, and then, but eventually, if you outgrow them, I think that's a good thing. It's not. It'd be a bad thing if you're stagnant and just like staying in the same spot, and it's like you look up and 10 years have gone by. I mean, we're old. We don't got those 10 years. 10 years. But yeah, man, like, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, but it is something that you need to understand. So that's really good advice too, because if you're not used to that, you can start taking things personal, and like you're like, oh man, like, I thought we were boys, and now he's like talking shit or something, like, So it's crazy. But you're right.
Yeah, dude, that's how it was at one point. When like I said before, when people wouldn't show up, like at one point I would get frustrated, and I, like, it gets to my head sometimes, dude. I'll get frustrated at the wrong people, like, obviously my friends that I invited. And I understand now that they can't make it to every show, and I understand that some of them have families and they have things to do. So it takes a while to just to let that sit in your head that mostly not everyone's gonna go to your show, and you just have to keep that mentality that people will show up to your show, and as long as you keep doing what you're doing and putting content out there and giving people a reason to go see you again.
Organic, man. That's why I'm saying. That's why we sound like, as much as we care about our immediate friends and family, like, they're not the ones who are gonna get us to that level, right? Like, they're gonna always be there, and they can care less if you're super famous or not super famous. You're their family and friends, like. So it's the organic reach of these true fans. Are like, I don't know who you are, I just love your music, and then they kind of get to know you on a different level. That's how we gotta grow that way, and like, because then those type of people, I mean, you see these big headliners, they're like, oh, this person's at my show every single show I have, because again, you've grown that kind of like relationship with them, with your music and all that. So like, you grow from that. I think everybody grows, like, oh man, like, I thought you were gonna be at every single show. It's like, well, I get it, you can't.
That's the hardest thing to get into your head when you're a DJ. Not everyone can make it to your show, but that's just something we have to get used to. Eventually you'll have your friends at every show, and eventually you have regulars, and like you said, loyal fans who just go to your shows.
Yeah, sometimes I tell Adrian, like, imagine when we don't have to worry about, like, man, how many tickets do I have I sold? Can you imagine, like, the amount of stress that'd be coming off your shoulders, like, not having to worry about it. It's a packed building, and they're just there to see you, to listen to you. So that's can't wait for that one. But everybody else who doesn't stop showing up to my shows, I just want you guys to know that I know who you are. And
and you're dead to us.
And I wrote your names down, and oh man, you're gonna get a nasty email.
So I tell this to the people that I tell this to people on Instagram too, like, for the people who I always see at my shows, I'm gonna remember you.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna
always. Like, I never forget anybody who's even helped a little bit in our progression.
Yeah.
Moving up.
Our number one fan is a friend of mine. Shout out to Lori. She's always she's literally like at all our shows. She's always supporting me. Like, sometimes, like, we'll put out a mix, and like she's like driving somewhere, and like she'll send me like a little video of it that she's listening to it. So that little stuff, like, it means a lot, actually, and because they don't have to, they don't have to right now. And but it's cool, man. Like, when you start to feel the real support, you can really feel it, like, when it's genuine. So it's dope.
No, man, that's cool, man. But hey, man, thanks for coming on, being our guest. Thank you for the mix. It was
Appreciate
dope.
It.
And again, I hope everybody got a lot out of it. But before you go ahead and, I said, if you want to plug anything, your socials, your anything coming up, or go for it. Well, we'll tag it in the description anyways, but go for it.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me. I'm not really doing anything at the time, obviously, but I do. But if you guys do want to check out some of my mixes and tracks, go to my SoundCloud at Cyanide Panda, and also I have a Facebook too. Go to and just type in Cyanide Panda right there. I also have a Twitch as well. You can check out every once in a while. I'm either DJing or gaming, but most of the time, you know, I'll do a set every once in a while. So you can check out my Twitch also at Cyanide Panda. And also my YouTube, I barely started that as well. You know, I'm probably gonna upload some of my sets from Twitch as well onto my YouTube, and eventually I'll have my tracks on there as well. Sure. So on YouTube, don't forget to check Cyanide Panda as well.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
We'll definitely put that in the description so everybody can find you. Again, we appreciate it. You know, we're big fans always, and keep doing your thing, bro. Keep doing your thing.
You guys too. Remember, the grind never stops.
Never stops.
Sure. All right. Catch you guys on the next one.
All right, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.